It's the Tromedy Podcast. Trauma plus comedy equals Tromedy. This week on Tromedy.
Actually, we have to laugh to survive. And when I read your recent Facebook post, I think it was Mother's Day, it just touched my heart and soul. Are you comfortable sharing a little of what you shared in the Facebook post?
I had it on my mind, and then Mother's Day came and Mother's Day passed, and I was like, I'm just going to bury it like I always do. And then something kicked in, and I was like, you know what, I got to share it. Okay, here we go. Your mind will try to protect you from painful experiences. That's what my mind did for me. Mom died when I was 3 years old by suicide. My mind pressed Control-Alt-Delete. I forgot everything up until that.
You're listening to Tromedy, the podcast that helps you take your pain and play with it. I'm Nancy Norton. I am a former nurse, comedian, and keynote speaker about the power of humor, why we need it, how it helps us.
Bring the power of humor to your next event with award-winning comedian Nancy Norton. Nancy got out of healthcare for the same reason a lot of people get into it, to save lives. Message Nancy at nancynorton.tv. The Tromedy Podcast is sponsored by Crybaby Badass. You have to feel it to heal it. You are a Crybaby Badass luminary. See your light in the mirror. Do you have a trauma? Hey, you listening, do you have a Tromedy story to share? If so, send Nancy a message at nancynorton.tv.
This is a very good episode. Every episode is so good. I love my job. I love my calling. This is a calling, as you know. I cannot not do Tromedy because I need these conversations. I hope by listening in, you get a little something from them as well. I really am learning from every guest some coping skills or some inspiration, and always something funny every single time. And this is a mental health podcast. So keep breathing. Know you're not alone. If you want to find a comedy show or to connect with me, go to my website, nancynorton.tv. Everything is there. Enjoy this episode, and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome to Tromedy. My guest this week is a comedian and an award-winning storyteller. You may have seen him on the Moth Hour. He was the Grand Slam storyteller, amazing comedian. Please welcome Birungi Birungi.
Yeah.
And then after I introduced you, I realized I didn't ask if I said your name correctly.
You did. You said Birungi, right?
Birungi. I think I said Rungi, and I need to say Birungi, because it's got an ooh.
The G is what usually throws people off, because sometimes people say Birungi, or Birungi, but it's Birungi.
Birungi, and I think I said it instead of a ooh. So I thank you for thank you for.
Ooh, I think is fine. It's just people get really extravagant with the G and the R. Sometimes people roll it there. Birungi. I'm like, there is none of that. It's just Birungi.
Settle down. I was listening to one of your bits on Instagram about your name, and I was laughing out loud because it was so funny. The meaning of your name is actually quite beautiful.
Yeah, it's I think I know the joke that you're talking about. I like that joke because it's actually as close to the truth as possible.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think in the joke I say my name means good luck. What it actually translates to is things are good. The actual translation of my name in my language is things are good.
Oh, like all is well.
Yes.
It's all. Yes. I got little like spirit energy on it, like all is well. Birungi. Yeah. Birungi.
Which is, I can't remember how I wrote the joke, but if I was to think, it's because of the actual meaning of the name. So it's not too far off. It's from things are good to good luck. It's like I'm not making a lot up with that joke.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
But I loved your punchline, that it's like good luck.
Good luck getting a job. Good luck getting to the airport. Oh boy.
I know. I love it. I may even like pop it in here on the podcast so people can hear it with an audience, cause
exposure. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, and it's so important. I really feel like one of the things, like this is a mental health podcast, but it obviously the name is about comedy, how comedy helps us through rough times, and I'm basically justifying my existence with this podcast, right? like, look, I got in so much trouble for inappropriate humor as a nurse, or, like you shouldn't laugh about like as a kid. Like, it's like, no, actually we have to laugh to survive. And when I read your recent Facebook post, I think it was Mother's Day, it just touched my heart and soul. And I got, again, I get, I'm very spiritual. So I get these like spirit energy runs, like it feels like goosebumps, we call it, or some people say chicken skin. I call it, somebody told me to call it truth chills. And I was like, oh, I got to talk to Birungi. I want to say it right. Yeah. And does your name actually come out twice? Birungi?
Yeah, so, boy.
I'm digressing. See, I do this, ADHD, right in the middle of setting up this beautiful story.
Perfect. So actually, when I started comedy, I had a different name. My last name was the same. My first name was different. I had what I call a colonial name, which most Africans do have that. You know about that. So I got rid of my colonial name, and then I found out that, unless you're Cher, you need two names. Legally. Yeah, you can't just go around with one name. So I went shopping for a new name, and halfway through, I got tired and lazy. I was like, you know what? I'll just double up on the Birungi.
I love it.
Yeah, so I went to the DMV, and I just did that. So that's my government name now, Birungi.
I love it. I love it. And it's double luck. Why not?
I know. And it's funny because some comedians think it's a gimmick. Some comedians still think I'm playing some game. Like, I'm like, that's my name. That's my actual name.
Yeah. And you are that name incarnate. You have, I mean, well, when I read this story, and I know I said I got to hear more, and I want to share it with my listeners, because I have a small but kind of dedicated following who really want these kinds of meaningful stories that also, I think we feel resonance with it. We all have been through stuff, who have been willing to look at some of the depths of hell and then come out with the light, and so that's sort of what Tromedy does. And so I don't know if you want to are you comfortable sharing a little of what you shared in the Facebook post to kind of give us a foundation? Is it too soon? Is it too much?
No, it's not. We could do either way. Do you have it in front? Unfortunately, I don't have it in front of me.
That's a good point. I could probably open my phone, but I don't know where I put my phone. Oh, it's over there.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? Well, I don't. Can I be honest with you? I don't read well.
You don't read well?
No. As a kid, I have like eyes on two different lines and a little bit of dyslexia, I think. As a kid, I was terrified of reading in public. And when it was my turn to read a paragraph, when they would go around the room, I would try and...
actually, I found it, and it's not as long as I thought it was going to be. So I think I can read this.
Okay. I'll stop talking about my reading trauma in high school. Or, yes, please share it if you're comfortable.
Yeah, I'm comfortable. This is dated May 11th. I think it was the day after Thanksgiving, because I needed a day or two to reflect.
Wait a minute. The day after Mother's Day, maybe? Or
Mother's Day, rather. Yeah. Right. Did I say Thanksgiving?
You did. But I'm like, hey, man.
No, it was after Mother's Day. Because initially, this is the irony of it, is initially I was not going to do it. I had it on my mind, and then Mother's Day came and Mother's Day passed, and I was like, I'm just going to bury it like I always do. And then something kicked in, and I was like, you know what, I got to share it. Okay, here we go. Your mind will try to protect you from painful experiences. That's what my mind did for me. Mom died when I was 3 years old by suicide. My mind pressed Control-Alt-Delete. I forgot everything up until that point. I have zero memories of my mom or the years leading up to her passing. Only one memory flashes every so often. My grandmother holding me at Mom's funeral. I remember Grandma pouring a pile of dirt into my little hands. As Mom's coffin slid into the ground, I dropped that pile of dirt into it. I was clueless, just following the lead because everybody at the funeral was doing it. I remember people crying, people coming up to me and expressing pity and condolences. I was a child. I was unbothered. I did not fully understand what was going on and how it would impact my life going forward. Little did I know that was the beginning of an odyssey, bouncing from one home to another, one boarding school to the next and another. A few times I was forgotten at school. Like imagine all the parents on the last day of the school picked up all their kids and left. I was left there, with the school staff, empty classrooms, empty dorms, empty parking lots, empty playgrounds. Nobody came. Often I saw kids getting picked up by one parent, mom or dad, or both parents. I always thought, wow, must be nice to have one or two or both parents. Perhaps if mom was alive, she would come get me. There's a sadness that would grip me at that very moment. My mind had built a defense mechanism. It would block that sadness immediately. So I embraced the loneliness. School became my home. My mind told me, nobody's coming for you, so don't even wait. I stopped waiting. Funny enough, I'm the youngest of my family. My older brother went to the same homes and schools. He was different. He had hope. He waited. And when nobody came, he cried. Despite being the youngest, I consoled him. I was forced to grow up quickly. 15, I left my dad's house to live on my own in the mean streets of Kampala, Uganda. 17, I left Uganda by myself and moved to America to start a new life. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, wow. I just want to be with it because it's just so beautiful and so touching and so powerful. And just to know you, I didn't know this about you. This is the thing. Okay, I have to have a moment here. Let's everybody take a breath, but also just
yeah.
I just want to. Well, how beautiful.
Thank you.
Poignant, and I don't need to say any other adjectives, I don't think. Just I'm letting it be. And just who you are as a person, based, like you said, the Odyssey. Wow. Where do we go from here? Do we need any more? Do we just say that's enough? I am so here. I want to know something. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take a drink. One of the things we do on Tromedy is, my friend Stephanie just got me these mugs. Shameless self-promotion, but it's like she just gave me. It's so I just take a sip of. I put in here the fizzy vitamin drinks, and I just take a little drink, and just so I can be in the present moment. Like I want to honor what you shared, and also be in the present moment. And knowing that, wow, there's so much behind what you shared, and there's no way we can cover it in 45 minutes to an hour. But the fact that somehow you had the strength to comfort your brother, and also just to accept, there's a sense of acceptance with you, I guess, that this is what is. Like we accept what is. And the feeling that I felt when I was looking around at the empty dorms and the empty playground, and just like, this is my life. This is like, you must have just taken it all in, but doesn't sound like you had this big resentment about it, or that it should be different. Just, it is what it is. I don't know. Tell me more.
Yeah. It's interesting because I have a few photos from my childhood, which I went back and looked at, and if you look really carefully, you start to see it. Yeah. Like one of the photos is actually at my school that I was at that time, and it's a photo of my parents visiting me, and they came in a big group that time. It was mostly uncles and aunties and a couple cousins, so it was a big group. I want to say about 5 or 6 people visited us, and it was me and my brother. But in the photo, everyone's dressed up but me.
Oh.
Yeah, so like my brother still had his uniform on. 2 of my brothers still had their uniforms on. My parents, the people that were visiting me, were dressed up, and I was the only one that was casually dressed. But what happened in that photo, thinking back, and I remember this part, is the reason my brothers were dressed is because they were still waiting. You know, because usually when your parents are visiting you, they want you to look nice for them. So the school will require everyone to dress nice for them and wait. And I dressed up nice that day. And then after, maybe 5 hours or so, I realized, you know what, nobody's coming. So I took off the uniform and I went and played with my friends. I just gave up on the idea that they were coming. And then around, usually visitation hours were anywhere from like 8 o'clock to say 4 o'clock p.m. And around 5 p.m. is when they showed up. And I was done.
You're like, this is after the visiting hours. I don't believe. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that photo sticks out to me. I have a copy of it somewhere. But that was kind of my mentality, where it's like, at some point I was like, you know what, they're not coming. I'm just going to give up on that.
And our boarding schools, when my son's adopted from Nepal, and I noticed that the orphanages, they send kids off to school, and I can't quite understand, like, they're in this orphanage. They're not orphans, but they're, maybe they've lost a parent or whatever the situation is at home, that their parents can't care for them. So they come to this NGO, this non-government organization like orphanage, and go to school. Is the boarding school sort of like an orphanage, or sort of like a place? What is it? I've struggled explaining this to most Americans, because I think boarding schools here are the opposite. It's like the rich boarding schools, like where like Bill Gates and them went to. At least that's my rudimentary understanding of boarding schools in America. Yeah, same.
Ours is the opposite. If you're poor and or orphaned or one parent household, you go to a boarding school back in places like Uganda. The reason it works like that is because, one, if your parents are working 80 hours plus and they're never home, it doesn't make sense for you to be at home. So basically they dump you somewhere for 3 months at a time.
Wow.
And then they pay a flat fee. So all the food, boarding, and everything, you pay one-time fee, and the school takes care of your kid. But the problem is, because it's a flat fee, you get a flat experience. Yeah, so the meals are the same. We pretty much ate the same thing for like 3 months.
Every day. Yeah.
Yeah, every day, and it's terrible food. It's the teachers are mean.
There's no love. There's no love in the food. There's nobody attuning with you.
It's straight up boot camp. It's boot camp. The hours are strict. The teachers are mean. You get your ass whooped day in, day out. The water's cold.
To shower, like to wash, to bathe.
Yeah. So it's like I was on a strict, from the ages of about, I want to say 3 up until probably 12. It was a strict schedule. It's like wake up at 4 a.m., go to class on an empty stomach, and then get out, get ready, have maybe a cup of tea, go to class again with an empty stomach. And then lunch would be around 11 a.m. and it's the same. It was mostly we call it it's made out of corn with beans, so it's prison, like straight up prison food, like Shawshank Redemption kind of food.
Wow.
So you eat that, get back in class for another like 2 to 3 hours, get out. Then you have another cup of another corn, whatever thing it was.
It's not like it's seasoned or presented in any kind of way.
Nah.
It's like, look, this is just sustenance.
Yeah.
That's it.
It was a very, and then you're closed off from the rest of the world in the sense that, there was no newspapers, there's no radio, there's no TV. It's just strictly school and just, there's a few hours of play that they give us, and we just like make a ball out of whatever is around, like a soccer ball.
Yeah. You would create it out of like trash or something, or
yes. Oh, before I forget, Nancy, this is actually where I think some of my comedy styling started.
Oh yeah.
Because what would happen is, because we had no TV, no movies, nothing. What would happen is every once in a while you would go home for some reason. Maybe you're sick or some reason. And what would happen is one of the kids would watch the movie and then come back, and then people would sit down in a group. You'd find a group of like 10 kids sitting down, and then one kid would go up front and narrate the whole movie.
That's wild. That's amazing.
Yeah, with sound effects and act outs and the whole thing.
Oh, that's awesome. So and then you were one of those kids, like you're the storyteller. It's
and then you gotta exaggerate it, of course.
Yeah, over the top.
Over the top, yeah. So that's what we did, and those were the first signs of like trying to paint pictures with just words to your fellow students.
Yes. So really working on the craft of theater of the mind.
Yes.
That's amazing. So that's a silver lining behind the when you're so deprived, and you do have to be creative. Like I saw that in Nepal. I saw kids all the time like playing with they don't have toys, and if you go to the orphanage and you bring toys, they put it in a curio behind glass. Like the kids aren't even allowed to, you just look at the dolls,
Appreciate it. Like a museum artifact.
Yeah, that's what it was like. And meanwhile, what they're playing with are, old tires and stuff in the street, rolling them down the street or whatever, and at the same time, I'm not saying, some part of me is like, when my son, had this Lego room in my house, and he didn't, I overcompensated with him. And I'll be curious to hear about some of your parenting. I know your child is still very young. You have a son now, right? Is it?
I do. He's 2 years and 5 months.
It'll be interesting to see how the pendulum swings with your American child. I mean, I feel like I brought my son from Nepal and ruined him. I'm going to be honest with you. I have to own it. I have a very, what do you want, honey? What, like when I go to feed him mac and cheese, he's like, this is the wrong mac and cheese. It's not Amy's sharp cheddar shells. I'm like, dude,
I'm not surprised. You know what they say? It's like every generation makes a slight improvement.
Yeah.
But our generations, I think, we're making a vastly bigger improvement. Like right behind me is the door, and is my kids' play area, and it's a zoo in there.
Yeah.
He's got everything, like everything.
I know. Well, before we get to current day with your son, which, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would love to hear about, how in the world you got up the courage. First of all, you moved out at 15, and then, I mean, was it just necessity? Like it's not pleasant to be at your dad's house, or you just like, I am a man now and I want to go make my own way, a little combo?
It was a little combo. So the way my household was growing up was my family grew backwards. You know how most families, you start with a parent and a dad, like a mom and a dad, and then you add kids as you go. Mine worked backwards. We started with mom and dad, and then me and my brother, and then of course mom died when I was 3 years old. And then my dad left briefly. He worked in Japan as an immigrant. and then we dispersed. Like me and my brothers, like sometimes we were together, sometimes we were separate. Like we're living with either in boarding school or with uncles and aunties. And then what happened is my dad came back, and then he started putting the team back together.
Okay.
Yeah. So then it was him, and then me and I have one biological brother. So he brought us together. And then the crazy part is I'm the youngest. My brother is maybe 2 years older than I am. And then we later find out that we have a brother that was 5 years older.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we later find out we have another brother that's 6 years older. So our family was kind of growing in the opposite direction.
And you're saying they're not biological brothers, but they were, or they're your half.
We share one parent at least.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah.
But wow, what a surprise! So you have this new family.
Yeah, but then one of my siblings came with her mother. So then now we had a mother in the household.
Okay.
So we went from like 2 or 3 to like 5 or 6 in a few years.
It's like Uganda Brady Bunch or something.
Yes.
Are you too young for Brady Bunch? But anyway, yeah. I'm making references to old sitcoms.
So that's what happened. But then, sadly, it did not last because, given our different backgrounds and all the stuff that was going on between the siblings, between my mom, my stepmom, and my dad, the family started to disintegrate. Yeah, so like one sibling left, we quickly found out we were not meant to be together.
Not compatible.
Not compatible, yes. So everyone fell off one by one until it was my turn. I just, my dad wanted me to go to certain schools, do certain things a certain way, and it just wasn't, it wasn't working. So I left the home and I pretty much escaped.
Really?
I did.
Just bolted, spontaneously.
Yeah, he dropped me off somewhere to go to school there, and I did not want to go to school there, so I escaped and moved back into the same city that he was living in. So for a good year or two, I was in the same city as he was. He just did not know it.
Oh, so the school was farther away.
Yeah.
And you bolted.
Yeah, because I had different ambitions as a student, and he just did not respect that. For him, it was a matter of cost alone. So he didn't care about the quality. He didn't care about like my ambitions I was a good student, by the way. So that was kind of where my frustration was, where I'm like, you want me to go to school where and do what where? And he just didn't see it. So I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll go there. But I did not stay.
Yeah.
Because
it didn't challenge you in the way that you needed to be challenged, or the career that you could have been doing.
Yeah. So I ended up enrolling at at my old high school without his knowledge and without a plan. But I knew the teachers, and I give him some kind of story.
There we go. Back to your storytelling.
Yeah, and I lived with an uncle behind an abortion clinic for about 2 years.
Wow, that's a novel right there.
Yeah, my uncle was a truck driver. He was a truck driver, and we had like a 1-bedroom, and I slept on the ground, and he slept on the main bed. And he was, nice enough to keep a secret. So he did not tell my dad that I was staying there and staying in the city. And it was just day by day at that point. It's like, sometimes I didn't know where the food was coming from. Tuition, I was always behind on tuition because clearly my dad was not in the picture at that point.
So you're paying your own tuition.
I was scraping.
The part that you're behind an abortion clinic, I feel like there's a part of me going, now, is there more to that aspect of it? Like the fact that lived with my uncle behind an abortion clinic, I feel like I thought there was going to be, and I don't know, helped women, get, I don't know, out of whatever situation. I don't know.
No, abortions are illegal in Uganda.
Oh, so it was a secret, whatever.
Yes, it was a secret abortion clinic, and the way things work over there is sometimes you have a store, whether it's a clinic or an actual like grocery store, will be in the front, and people live in the back. So I was living in the back, and then the abortion clinic was in the front, and I actually shared a bathroom with them. That was weird.
Oh, wait, I'm picturing stuff. Yeah,
it's gruesome.
Yeah. How awful. Though, thank you for at least acknowledging, how difficult it is for women and, obviously now in certain states in the United States or in Uganda we don't have, I'm old, doesn't matter for me. I have no reproductive rights. Those have been taken from me by God. Appropriately so. It was for the highest good. I trust you. Trust me, it was for the highest good. But I'm just saying, God, that these people who don't even have body autonomy. Anyway, so that was something you were aware of at the time.
Yeah. So that's where I lived for about 2 years, leading up to me coming to the U.S. At that point, I'm maybe like 15, 16. And then
growing up so fast.
Yeah. So despite, scraping by and just trying to make it through, at that point, it was, we called it secondary school. You guys call it high school, end of high school, something like that. Yeah, so I graduate, and I did pretty well, I thought.
Yay! I'm clapping for you. Yay.
Yeah, but the way the university system over there is messed up. Yeah, because you have about maybe anywhere from 1 million to 5 million students graduate secondary school, or what you guys would call high school, and they put you in a pool, and then you have to compete for like probably about, I want to say 100,000 spots, countrywide.
Yeah.
So you have 1 million students competing for like 100,000 spots. And despite having good grades, I got none of it. I did not get a spot at any of the universities in the country. So now I was in a weird space where I did not know what was next for my future. Because over there, if you don't go to university, you're baked, you're cooked. Because at that point, unless your family's privileged, which mine wasn't, it's the end of the road. You're going to be a manual laborer for a long time, for the rest of your life, pretty much. I went.
Are you getting a fax?
Is my father-in-law is printing something.
Okay.
I thought that was you, but it's me.
I was like, this just in.
It's my dad. He's like, NDA, sign it right now. Talking too much.
Are you living with your in-laws?
Yeah, we're in an extended household right now. It's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, it's
that's like nice though, having family around with a little one, having the grandparents there.
It is, especially the way most of not most, but a good chunk of American culture is very individualistic, like everyone for themselves.
Yeah.
We're kind of doing, at this point, we're doing it the opposite way. It's like everyone's helping out. It's like we house sit for them, we watch the dogs, they watch the baby. It's kind of a back and forth.
Win. I love it. I love it. It's so good for the baby to have extended family. I wish I'd had that. But anyway, that just distracted me a little bit, so I wanted to make sure. I had to go, is that I didn't know if you were getting something important that was coming through your feed. But I wanted to say, so you were saying you could not, so the 1% that gets in, and I'm sure there's a ton of what they would say in Nepal like bakshish, but I don't know the term. Like when you bribe people to get into university, you know, you gotta sometimes have influence to get in. I'm guessing not just good grades, but some sort of outside influence.
It's a lottery. There's a lot of factors that go into it. And the most important one, the first one you gotta have at all times is the grades, which I got. And then the next phase is the one you're talking about, the leverage, either financial or relationships.
Yes.
And I had neither of those.
So there was oh, sorry. Why do I need to interrupt you? So there was no future for you there as far as that goes.
Yeah, there was no future. And then one of my teachers in high school hit me up, and he was like, he tells me about a scholarship program to America. And there's a lot of those where I come from, and 99% of the time they're scams.
Oh.
Yeah.
They just take like an application fee or something and don't deliver, or?
Yeah, there'll be some application fee. There'll be some weird criteria. It's you know, I know a lot of people that, you know, went down those rabbit holes and lost a lot of money. Either sold their land, their house.
Oh my gosh.
And then find out later that it's just some guy in a basement.
Exploiting you.
Yeah. But when I was in high school, I was part of the debate team. And this particular teacher took a good liking to me for that part of me, because I was a good student. But on top of that, I had some speaking skills or presentation skills, or, you know, I could command a room or an audience, you know, that kind of thing. And so he put my name in the as one of the students that he would recommend for the scholarship. And, you know, given that I had no other options, I applied. And then it quickly took on its own momentum. And before I knew it, they were like, yeah, you're a good candidate for this, and we would love to proceed with you. And I was like, wow.
Yay. I'm excited for you.
Yes. And then at that time, I did not have an address. I did not have a passport. I'd never been out of the country. I just didn't know how any of this worked. I'd never been on a plane.
Wow. What year is this? How old are you?
At this point, I want to say between 16 and 17. Yeah. So I had nothing but, which looking back, I've been thinking about this, is, you know, the importance of mentors. Like, I had an uncle who had these experiences before, because the first time I went to my dad with this opportunity, he did not believe it. He thought it was a scam. And I don't blame him based on what I just told you. But I had another uncle who had traveled a little bit. He had an address. He had a passport. And then he's like, you know what, I'll take your hand. You can use my address, like, because I needed to correspond with this university in America, like to send me mail or anything like that. Then he took me to the passport office. He shows me like how to fill out a form, how to actually get a passport.
Who is this again? This is your uncle? No.
Yeah. This uncle, he's married to, on my mom's side. He basically one of my aunties who's on my mom's side. And
so we want to give acknowledgement, like you said, to mentors, to this person. If you hadn't had that person, you know, you might have gotten overwhelmed, or like you said, you wouldn't have had a place to mail anything or get the passport. That's so important.
Oh yeah. Him and I are still in touch. His name is Wilson, my uncle Wilson, and he did most of the work. And then eventually, I had a passport. I had a document from the university confirming that, hey, you got room and board and tuition covered. Next task was a plane ticket. I did not have that money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's gotta be a very expensive plane ticket.
Oh yeah. At that point, we're talking anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 We crowdsourced that in the family, like $100 from here, 50 from there, a little bit from everybody until I had a full plane ticket. And before I knew it, I was, this was to Seattle. I went to Seattle University, is small liberal arts university. And that's where I started my college years.
Yay! I'm so happy to hear this. I can't wait for your memoir to come out because there's so many details, on that journey. And so, and that's where you and I met during the Seattle International Comedy Competition.
5 years later, yes.
Yes, 5 years later. Look how young, and it took me 30 years to win a competition. But now that I'm looking back, I'm like, I wish you had won it. Not really. I'm glad I won it. But I'm just saying, dude, you came so far so fast. That was just 5 years later that I met you.
Roughly. I mean,
get out of town.
I'm counting joining the campus, graduating would be 4 years, and then I worked probably another 5 years. Because I was, like everybody else, I was doing that thing where you have a day job, and then at night you go to the comedy clubs.
Yes.
And I think by the time we met, I was probably 5 years in, of comedy.
Wow. Well, again, all those years of storytelling you showed because, you're just a rising star. I say I'm on a slow climb. I'm on a slow climb to mediocrity. Watch me go, baby. No, that's okay. I mean, I love my life. I love where I am. I mean, but you are like a... Look at you go, dude.
Nancy, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I believe the first year, I've only done SICK twice. For the people listening that do not know what SICK is, Seattle International Comedy Competition. I've only done it twice, and I believe the first year I did it is the year you won it, I want to say.
2019?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, wow.
I think so. And here's what I told myself at the time, because... part of me was beating myself up for not going. That one I didn't even advance to the next round.
Well, that's all. To me, those are the hardest rounds. The preliminary round, I think they're more random, and you never know who's going to get through the first round. But go ahead.
But I had an epiphany when that competition happened. And the epiphany was I looked at everybody that had advanced, and then I looked at myself. And I realized it made sense, because I'm looking at like Nancy coming in with like 20 years of experience.
At least.
At least. And here I am coming in with, less than 5. I'm like, of course it makes sense that she wins. Like she has to. Like if it was any other activity, sports or... parenting, whatever it is, if someone has 20 years versus 5 years, if you gave me 2 pilots and you told me this one has 20 years of experience and this one has 5, I'm never choosing the 5-year.
Well, and you make a good point. I always tell folks who start out, and I've mentored a few comedians, and I really feel like we don't get our stage legs, at least some of us. Now, there are exceptions to every rule, and you might be one of those people. But 10 years in is when I see people start really finding their voice. You know what? Like you've kind of figured out the rhythm, the beats, or whatever of comedy, but you're still almost a little bit of a talking head, so to speak. And then when you start to when you really start to embody the material. But then those of you who are storytellers since you were in grade school, I mean, you already have that. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, it can be anybody, but I do think it's funny. One of my ex-girlfriends, she had won a few Emmys for writing for television. She was an amazing comedian, but she always did compare stand-up to being a pilot. She said people don't understand. If you look at a pilot's like dashboard, they don't understand all these little nuances that are going on during a stand-up performance. And we know it now, like I can tell you by the height of the ceiling, by the way the stage lights hit me, how far away the people are, the quality of the microphone. I love an SM58 for stand-up. Podcasting, it's not as good. But you know what I mean? All these, you start learning all these variables. And it is a lot like being a pilot. And I do think years of experience pay off. And I did tell myself when I won the Boston Comedy Festival the year before, and again, I think I probably had 3 times the experience of most people. And I only went, all I wanted, and I'll be honest with you, I wanted to get on a late night talk show because when I was a 4 or 5 year old, that was success as a comedian. And I never did get on a late night talk show. And Colbert's talent coordinator was supposed to be the judge in the finals of Boston. And I was like, let me go practice doing 4.5 to 5.5 minutes under pressure because it's a whole different skill set than headlining. So that's all I was doing when I went to Boston. But then as I advanced and I got to the finals, I was like, Nance, you've done the 10,000 hours. Go get that $10,000, And I was a single mom and I needed the money. And I was like, so grateful. I wrote in steam, and I'm going to tell folks this because I believe in manifesting with the loving universe, but I was in my shower the night of the finals and I wrote, pay to the order of Nancy Norton $10,000. I wrote out the check.
That's a Jim Carrey moment.
In the steam. And I'm telling you, to this day, it was the highlight of my career to just, because I was shocked. Honestly, even though I thought I was going to do okay, I've never won anything. I was always a choker in competitions. I used to be a foot racer. I was always like third. Dang it! I've never won a trophy.
The people's champion. Third is the people's champion.
So anyway, I am a voice for perseverance. I am a voice for just keep going. But here you are. You're on another trajectory. Like I literally am on this, and that's okay. I'm a scaredy cat. I go like this. I don't take huge risks. I kind of like dabble here and there, and then I limp along. But you're like, I will leave my home country by myself. I'm going to Seattle. And you did it. And you graduated. You graduated.
I did graduate. Yeah, I have a business degree. It doesn't show, but I do.
Well, you bought that nice pink shirt, I'm telling you right now. I put on my pink shirt, and he's like, I got a pink shirt. And it's like, I love our theme today.
We're matching.
Yeah. So then you graduated. When did you start stand-up? How did you finally find that path?
Oh, boy. So like I said, I went to Seattle University, and within walking distance from Seattle University was a few comedy spaces. One of them it's no longer existent. Actually, have you done Emerald City in Seattle?
It Emerald City? That sounds familiar to me.
It's new. It's like less than a year old.
No, I haven't. No, I have not done it.
Okay, it's a new comedy club out in Seattle. It's on Broadway, if anybody is familiar with Capitol Hill, like the main hub of Seattle. And right next, literally across the street from that, was a Thai restaurant that had a stage in the back.
Now that room was there when I was there, and we did an after show there.
Yes, we did.
That was so fun. Jai Thai, yes. Is it like JAI or something like that?
Yes, JAI. So that place is where I started, and part of it was just proximity, because I could literally walk from there to my apartment or from there to my dorm. Like it was just a short distance. And actually a lot of any of the Seattle comedians that have come out within the last 10 years went through that room, if not started in that room.
Yeah. And, is it still there? Is it still happening?
No, the building is dilapidated, so they had some hygiene issues.
Okay.
But the whole building, not just them.
Okay.
It was a pretty beat up building. Yeah. And of course, the gentrification is coming through and taking things down. Yeah. And they were one of the places that didn't survive COVID.
And you're still in the Seattle area, right?
No, so I started in Seattle, did comedy there for about maybe 8 years, and then I briefly moved to San Diego.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was in San Diego for maybe a year and some change, and then now I'm in beautiful Portland, Oregon.
Oh, you're in Portland.
Yeah, I moved quite a bit the last couple of years.
Okay, well, I love Portland, and that's a good comedy town.
Oh, yeah. It's smaller than the other two, but still good.
Well, so now that you got your business degree, you did the day job, you did the comedy. Now are you doing comedy full time now?
You could say that. You could say that.
None of my business.
No, the reason I say that is because obviously new parent.
So you're taking on a lot of the parenting roles?
I am, yeah. Well, I was, for the first year, I was kind of doing all three, working full time, doing comedy, and then trying to parent. And then I realized that was not sustainable. So I left the corporate job. So I'm not doing that right now. And then comedy, I'm still doing comedy, but not as heavy as I was when I was childless.
Yeah. It changes.
So, yeah.
It changes. Yeah, those kind. But it also will give you so much more material.
Oh yeah.
Endless material with parenting. But your son is 2. He's just 2. So having time with
2.
dad's got to be feeling so good. Does it feel like it's healing any part of? I feel like adopting my child, I felt selfishly, was about me healing some of my childhood wounds, wanting to have a loving parent-child relationship that I didn't have the needs met the way I wanted. So I have to admit, some of that I felt like I was meeting by parenting. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it is true, because there's a book I was reading. It has something to do with, recovery and trauma and things like that. And one of the exercises in that book is they ask you to talk to your younger self. So you literally get a baby photo of yourself and put it in front of you and say certain things to that little boy. And I did that with myself, but then having him in front of me, because him and I look very much alike when we were babies.
Little mini me?
Yes, literally, we're the same. And so having him right in front of me, I don't even need the photo to say these things to the little man. He's right there, and I'm learning a lot about myself. There are things, especially having now grown with a mother and or an affectionate dad and or other people, there are things I never knew. I almost think I was almost I don't know, I don't want to use the wrong word, but I was generally autistic when it came to emotions. I don't understand this stuff. When someone's like, oh, I need a hug, I'm like, why do you need a hug?
Oh, yeah, because you had to shut that need down. Or I mean, people on the spectrum, some of us, I am finding a lot of my friends are getting diagnosed with ADHD, autism with ADHD, and I haven't been diagnosed yet, but I do like a hug, but I'm just saying people on the spectrum do have different needs and do have different ways. And
yes.
And so I don't know what part of it's neurodivergence versus nurture,
Yeah.
or both.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because my son will tell me certain things that now I before didn't register, but now I'm starting to get it. He will, we'll be walking and he'll be like, hold my hand. Oh. Let's walk. And I'm like, if that's any other person, I'm like, why do you want me holding your hand?
Why?
Why? But with him, I don't ask that, and it makes sense. Even without asking, I'll be on my phone and he's like, play with me. And I'm like, wow, you can do that? If you need someone to join you, you can be like, hey, get off your phone and play with me. Yeah. So little moments, little things where I'm like, oh, that's how it works at the beginning, and then some shit happens, and then you forget how to ask for those things, and then you assume that that's normal.
Yes.
You assume that not hugging is normal, not holding hands is normal, not crying is normal.
A need for play. And that is a need. My son has, or taught me too, he has a very high need for play. And it's like, you need to play. And I have adopted this little dog today, or, he's been with us 6 weeks. But today, he was in my lap, and I thought, he's always grabbing my sock. He loves, anyway. He basically just told me, I need to play. And I'm like, oh, you need to play. And it's a need. you know?
It is.
Yeah.
And actually, it extends beyond that. Sometimes even for comedy, sometimes I beat myself up like most comedians. I'm like, oh, why should I do comedy? Why should I get paid to do comedy? And it's like, at the core, comedy is play.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to be paid to play?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all the people that we aggrandize in society are playing. All the athletes are playing. Granted, it's a different type of play and there's stakes and money and trophies, but it's still just play.
Yeah.
And it's so weird that we start off playful and then you get all serious and you put on a suit and get stuck in a cubicle and you assume that's life, which, you know, some people have to do that. But I'm like, if I had to choose, I would choose play.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know. And I keep trying to trick myself. And I do these keynotes and stuff for conferences. And I talk about gamification. Even with household chores, I have to. Maybe it's because my inner child hasn't grown up, but I'm like, I have to I gamify everything. Like set a timer, see how fast you can empty the dishwasher. You know, like try and break a new record, or I don't know, make a game out of almost everything. It makes it a lot easier psychologically, instead of like, I gotta, empty the dishwasher. It's like, how fast can you do this? Like, this is kind of fun, I know that's a weird example.
Built in. It's built into our minds, and you have to reward set parameters for yourself, set challenges for yourself, but then also reward yourself. Yeah.
I could see you doing speaking engagements. They pay quite well. And I just want to, I'm going to plant a seed right now, because somebody planted that seed in me as a single mom. I was working 12-hour shifts as a nurse. I was basically taking care of another person's child at their home who had, medical needs. And then my son was going to daycare. And I was just like, God, but I want time with my son. And this woman told me, she asked me what I made as a nurse. And it was a humble living, but a decent, I could live on $60,000 a year. I was like, I don't need a lot, $5,000 a month. And she goes, do you know you could make that in 1 hour as a keynote speaker, and you'll have a lot more time with your son? And I was like, really? Like, I get paid $50 to do a lot of comedy shows, Yeah. And she's like,
wow,
no.
You're doing well.
I don't want to brag. Dude, okay, it wasn't, drink coupons. Here's your drink ticket. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, as a comedian, and we love it, so we do. It is kind of a weird relationship with comedy. I used to forget to get paid after gigs a lot of times, because I was so happy for the gig. I was so happy to be doing the gig. And then I was like, oh, I forgot to get paid. Literally left town, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to get paid. But we would do it, and we do it for free sometimes. But I'm just saying, I'm planting that seed for you as a storyteller, as somebody who has a poignant message, as somebody, who has a family. Keynote speaking might not be a bad next thing for you.
I'm open.
Let's put it out there. Let's put it out there to the loving universe. Why not?
I appreciate it. I'll look into it, definitely.
How can people find you on Instagram, or how do you like people to reach out to you when they want to hire you to be a speaker? I'm making that up, but I think it's going to happen. But in the meantime, for comedy shows, or just to see your comedy.
Yeah, so my website is my name, comedy, Birungi Comedy. That's BIRUNGI Comedy. And that's the same tag I use for my Instagram, Birungi Comedy. And pretty much everything. My Gmail is birungicomedy@gmail. So anybody can reach me. I'm most active on Instagram, but I check all of them. So anyway you hit me up, I'll respond.
Well, you are a success story. I mean, if you don't mind, do you have time, or do you have to go pick up your son?
I got time.
I wanted to hear about meeting your wife and starting your family. Do you feel like sharing any of that? I mean, that to me is like such a beautiful success story, to have a family.
Oh yeah. We met in college. We were 1 year apart. So I'm a senior, she's a junior. And then, after we graduated, I waited around working a couple jobs while I waited for her to graduate. And then she was a social work major, Spanish minor.
Oh.
Yeah. So then at some point, I was, because I'm an immigrant at that point, a student visa holder. So I get to a point where my papers were going to expire. My student visa was going to expire. And she was supposed to go to Spain to learn Spanish for at least a year. So we're at crossroads. We're like, hey, we've been dating for a few years. Do we call it here? You go to Spain, I go to Uganda, and we just, it was a good time. Let's let's end it right here. Or, do I go to Uganda, you go to Spain, and then we meet up somewhere in the future? Or do we do what we did, which was get married in court, and then she leaves the country for 9 months?
Oh, wow. She went on the honeymoon without you.
Yes. We literally got married one day, and then 10 days later, she was on a plane to Spain for 9 months.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then she gets back, and she just happened to get back like 3 days before we were supposed to stand in front of immigration court to justify the marriage. So we had like all these paper IDs because, she had just landed, run to the DMV, got her new ID. And
is she also an immigrant or?
No, she's American. Yeah, but we basically had to go in front of the immigration judge and be like, hey, I know we got married, and then 10 days later she left for Spain, but here she is. She's been gone for 9 months. This relationship is legit. But anyway, despite some shaky moments during the interview, I joke about this on stage a few times. But that was 10 years ago, at least, before the current administration.
Yes, that was before. Thank God. Yeah. I'm just saying. So that was good.
We got approved then, and we've been together since then. And we've this is our first baby, and we've covered ground. We lived in Seattle, lived San Diego. Now we're here. So it's been quite a journey.
Yes, congratulations. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so grateful that you shared that story. Have you had a lot of folks reach out to you after reading your story on Facebook the other day?
Yes, they did. Yeah, I got all kinds of messages. I got some text messages, which is rare. It's rare that you go from Facebook to text.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I got some DMs, people have been reaching out. Between you and me, I think you were talking about the 10-year mark of comedy, like when you start to embody the comedy material, or at least the comedy persona. And I feel like this is my 11th year.
Uh-huh.
And I feel it. I feel it in the sense that, because one of my frustrations was, especially with Facebook, is I found myself having to basically tell a joke every time.
Oh.
Like I'm one of those people that unfortunately got trapped into every post has to be funny. Or at least I feel the urge, like there's got to be a punchline to every post.
Right, yeah.
And at this point, I don't feel that way. Especially, as a new parent, a dad, and I feel like I have more to share than just jokes every time.
Definitely.
And so that post I read at the beginning of the podcast is one of another where people have reached out a lot, and people actually appreciate authenticity.
That's right.
Above and beyond jokes. And I'm hoping I can do more of that instead of just always trying to make everything funny.
Well, again, yeah, I agree. And I think that is what people love the most. And my comedy, believe it or not, even at this age, is still growing. And I'm finding that I'm being a lot more vulnerable. as a parent, I do a lot of shows called Moms Unhinged with this producer and a lot of moms in the audience. And what I like to do is show them, like, here's where I could have done better. I mean, I'm honest. I can be honest now because he's too old for Child Protective Services to take. But I think they appreciate, like, we've all had moments, you know, like when I was hearing you say that you're working full-time, parenting and doing comedy, I was doing that. And and there were moments that I wasn't my best parent, you know, and toddlers will test you. I mean, do not get in a powers of will with a toddler. You will lose every time. So, I mean, I had to own, like, and then some of my own stuff came out sideways, and that's when I knew I needed to research trauma and figure out, like, okay, what's going on? And like you're saying, you're learning, like, oh, I could ask for these needs. And by the way, what are my needs? I think that's really hard when we've had to shut down our needs. So this has been great. I mean, just hearing all this life progress and insights and growth, and you're 11 years in stand-up, and I see you doing one-person show. I can see you on a Netflix special with a one-man show, and also as a speaker. I just see good things. I see it, and I really believe in
Nancy.
you. Totally.
I hope it comes true.
Well, I mean, just see it. I mean, that helps. I really do believe in, like, I believe in you, but I believe in seeing things and feeling it and, like, oh yeah. And because, listen, I think it's for the highest good. The more people that see you, the better, because you have such a great story to share and an inspiration, you know? So thank you for, you know, seriously.
That's very encouraging.
And we just worked together not that long ago, right? Was it
at the casino?
Yeah, and that was actually, turned out to be kind of a fun gig, right? I was surprised, like, hey, this turned out to be really a fun gig. And so it was good to see you again, because you know, look at you. You were in the finals of the last SICK, and so yeah, good things are happening for you all the time. Because your name, Birungi Birungi.
Good things are happening.
Yeah, let's keep it going. Anybody wants to reach out, find birungicomedy.com, and get this guy. So
I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you. Thank you for this time, and let's stay in touch. And seriously, come visit me. Come visit me in Boulder. You're always welcome here. I got a guest room, 100%.
Sounds good. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you. I want to thank my guest, Birungi Birungi. Visit him at birungicomedy.com. I see great things for him. I'm so happy for him and his family, and he's a great comedian. Check him out. Good person. Love yourselves. You're all good people. We're all good people. You know, our authentic self, when we're not reactive. I'm going to say let me use my I statements. When I'm not reactive, when I'm not afraid, when when I'm in my highest self, my authentic self is beautiful, as is everyone's. So I hope for you today to be able to access your authentic self, your authentic, beautiful, empowered self that knows there is a part of you that will not die, that doesn't have to be afraid, that knows you're okay. And I can find that in my breath. Yeah. All right. I want to thank my son, Nathaniel Norton, for providing the music loop for Tromedy. I want to thank my trusty companion who's here eating a bento ball. If you don't know what that is, I put a little frozen banana. I put it in the freezer. He's having a little treat right now, and he's bringing such good vibes to our home. I want to thank Mushu. Mushu, the little Shih Tzu mix from San Antonio, Texas. And I want to thank you, the listener, especially for being on this co-healing journey. And let me know if you want to be a guest, or you know somebody who should be a guest. Message me at nancy@nancynorton.tv, like television. And remember, no matter what, keep laughing.